Hello my crafty friends, this is card number 18 in my full deck challenge. This one was inspired by a lady named Jenny Elliott. I saw some of her little vintage houses that she had made in one of the Facebook groups and thought they were super cute, and I thought I want to give it a go. And unlike most of my other work or cards in the full deck challenge, this one doesn't have any gesso. I start by sticking a base design down on the full face of the card. The piece that I'm using is actually from a digital kit. It was a leftover piece that I had from a kit called Lettuce to Rose by NectarsCreations. It's a really beautiful kit and I really love this vintagey feel with the roses and the writing. So I'm using that as the main part of my house, and now I'm going to cut a little triangle out of a piece of cardstock for the roof. Save these little offcuts, we're going to use them in future projects. Now, if you know me and you know my work, I don't measure very well. I tend to eyeball most of the time. So I'm doing a very, very rough measurement for the roof, and then I've lost my marking. Anyway, I'm just going with the flow. It doesn't have to be exact. It's a little cottage. If it's a little wonky, I think it just adds to the charm. As this is only thin cardstock, I need to make it a bit firmer. So I'm just using a piece of cardboard from some packaging, using a glue stick to stick it onto and then cutting it out. We just want to have the roof firm, as it has to hold straight. You don't want it to be flopping around or even tearing, because there will be some handling with the card. I soon realized that a glue stick was not going to hold this, so I just used my hot glue to adhere the roof onto the main part of the house. All these little cards that we're doing is a great way for you to use up scraps that you have, because you only need small pieces of everything. So I have this olive green glitter cardstock that I've used before. It's a small piece that I have left over, and I think it'll make a really great door. The green is very complementary to the leaves of the roses from the body of the house, and I'm really going to go with this. I love the little sparkle that it has, and I think it makes a great door. So I've gone into my stash and I've collected all different kinds of laces and ribbons and little bits and pieces that I think would be cute on this house. I'm not going to obviously use everything, but I normally bring everything to the craft table so I can move everything around and just see what looks best until I'm happy with the composition. I don't know yet what's going to look good where, so I do try sort of a lot of elements in different areas until I like something. I'm going to put that beautiful little trim just on the top left and right of the roof. I'm using hot glue for all the sticking on this project, except where I stuck the background paper onto the card. Oops, I lied. I used the glue stick here too. I couldn't use the hot glue through that very thin lace. It would have just bulged through and wrecked the lace. So a glue stick was best. As I was creating this embellishment cluster, I realized that on the left hand side is where I need to put the eyelet so that I can hang my card with the other cards in the set. I need to put them on a ring, so I realized I can't have it there. So I'm just going to take it off, and then I'm going to start developing the embellishment cluster on the right hand side. I'm also adding some trim to the door. I don't want it to be just plain, and I think this little trim really suits it. Now to rebuild my flower cluster, I'm also using some die cuts. The leaves are little die cuts that I have, and just whatever flowers I have. Some of them are paper, some are fabric, just moving them around until I have something that's pleasing to the eye. I felt it needed something with a little bit of color just to balance it off. So I have this curly die cut with a beautiful soft pink that I think suits the whole scheme. So I'm putting that in the background underneath the flowers and building on top of that. And then I remembered to look in my wooden shapes, and I found these beautiful leaves. And then I found this little mushroom that made me really, really excited because I thought it would look perfect on this project. I also really like this keyhole wooden shape, but it was just too big for the whole look. So I will use that in a future project, but I did try going back to it a few times to see if I could make it work. It was just too big. I'm happy with the bottom left hand corner with the mushroom, the flower and the leaves, so I'm gluing that down. I felt the curly whirly was a little too big, so I've just trimmed it down and using just a piece of it, just for a little bit of the pink swirl to stick up underneath the flowers. And now I'm just placing and sticking as I go. If you have any questions about my process or things that I've used in this project, or any project for that matter, please do leave me a comment below the video and I will answer it as best I can. I'm using some seed beads in the center of the flower. They're little gold seed beads, and I like the little bling that they add. I wanted to add a little bit more bling, so I was trying some matte gold sequins, but then I couldn't find a right place for them and I didn't think it would look good, so I just abandoned that thought. I really hope you enjoyed this video and that you got inspiration to create your own little cottage. This would also look great on a journal cover or as part of one of your pages in your junk journal. A beautiful little embellishment. I'm going to add a shiny gold braid so that I'm able to add this card to the ring with the rest of the challenge. If you enjoyed this video, do give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell so you're notified every time I upload new content. Happy crafting! I'll see you again soon. Bye!